I keep looking around going like, remember these moments. Like these are the moments at the end of your life where you're going to look back and say, wow.
Blake Lively was once Hollywood's golden girl long before she became one of its biggest villains. So what happened here? Okay, so Blake Lively, she was actually born into the industry. Her dad, Ernie, was a working actor, and her mom managed talent, and her sister, Robin, was already famous from Teen Witch. It was actually her brother, Eric, who pushed her to audition one summer, and then boom, she landed Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants in 2005. And then fast forward 2 years later, Gossip Girl turned her into Serena van der Woodsen, and honestly, she became untouchable. Everybody was talking about Blake Lively. Personally, I loved her in the movie Age of Adeline, and I thought that she was going to be Hollywood's golden girl for the longest time. Nope. But when you look back at when she started really taking off in Hollywood at the late 2000s, early 2010s, she was basically engineered for fame. One of the shadiest details though about Blake Lively is that when she started dating Ryan Reynolds, he was still married.
Right here.
Like straight ahead, please. For the ladies, right here.
Look right.
So Ryan Reynolds came into the picture in 2010, and the timeline is really messy, guys. So they met while filming Green Lantern. But the tiny problem is that Ryan was still married to Scarlett Johansson at the time, and Blake was dating her Gossip Girl co-star Penn Badgley. By October of that year, Blake and Penn, they were done, their relationship had ended, and in December, Ryan and Scarlett broke up. And then in August of 2011, Blake and Ryan went public. And in September of 2012, they got married at Boone Hall Plantation. So connect the dots here. Both have always denied any type of overlap though, but come on, like the receipts read suspiciously here. Together they built Hollywood's most marketable couple. They had 4 kids, they had witty Instagram roasts, and this whole fake feud brand the internet really ate it up for over a decade. Blake's whole drama didn't start with "This Ends With Us" in 2024. Blake actually faced a lot of backlash for her wedding at a plantation. So her and Ryan Reynolds got married at Boone Hall, and it's literally a plantation with 9 preserved enslaved people cabins still standing on the property. Ryan himself later called the wedding venue a giant effing mistake. And that was during a 2020 Fast Company interview. Then following that whole fiasco, in 2014 came Preserve, which was a Goop wannabe lifestyle brand featuring an allure of antebellum photo shoot, romanticizing the Old South with zero acknowledgement of, the history of it all. The brand completely flopped within a year, and former employees later claimed that she ran the whole thing out of her brother's Manhattan apartment with no HR, and that she reported no NDA payouts. Now, Ryan's public appearance and his charm that he has with the crowd, as well as their flawless red carpet appearances, it kept the critics pretty quiet, but the cracks were always there when it came to Blake Lively and her reputation. 2024 was a bad year for Blake Lively.
Hey, Lily, you want to do the honors?
No, you go ahead. I need to take it in from here.
In August of that year, it's when Blake's entire empire publicly fell apart. And honestly, she did most of the damage herself. So It Ends With Us, the Colleen Hoover novel adaptation about a difficult marriage, finally hit theaters. And Blake's response, well, refusing to even say the heavy stuff on camera, telling fans to grab your friends, wear your florals, and using the press tour to really push her own hair care brand. She promoted her brand, Blake Brown, and her drink line, Betty Buzz. Audiences called it wildly tone deaf, and director Justin Baldoni got completely iced out. No joint promo, no premiere screenings. The whole cast unfollowed him on Instagram, and the Norwegian journalist Kirsty Fla, well, she dropped an old 2016 interview clip of Blake Lively sarcastically congratulating her on her non-existent baby bump. Yeah, that got millions of views.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
And people were furious with Blake Lively. And that's when things really started to go downhill. And that's when people started to really see, wow, maybe she's been a mean girl this whole time and just completely tone deaf. And maybe she's doing her best to turn people against other people. December of 2024 was wild for Blake Lively. That's when she filed a lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, and oh boy, did it backfire completely. So Justin countersued for $400 million. Then fast forward to January 2026, there's a whole bunch of texts that got unsealed and the chaos was unmatched. Blake had literally called herself Khaleesi with her dragons, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift, referring to them, basically using Taylor's fame as leverage in her drama.
It's a significant responsibility. How we use that matters. Who and what we stand up for.
And Ryan called Justin Baldoni a predator fraudster and a toxic mess. Sony executives privately labeled Blake an effing extremist and said that her Blake Brown launch timing was epic level stupid. And Taylor Swift was reportedly very furious about being pulled into her whole drama with Justin Baldoni, and she didn't like to be used or viewed by Blake Lively in that way. She's like, listen, I'm Taylor Swift. What you mean I'm in your corner? No, girl, you in my corner.
Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni have settled a lawsuit after a 2-year legal battle.
By April of 2026, the judge did toss out 10 of Blake's 13 claims against Justin Baldoni. So yeah, the narrative definitely completely flipped overnight. Since Blake Lively's whole drama with Justin Baldoni, her comeback to Hollywood has completely flopped. Like, she is not back. She probably never will get back to where she ever was. Her hair care brand sales have completely flopped. As a matter of fact, they dropped, I think, as high as 87%, or I should say as low as 87% at Target during the worst of all the backlash that was going on with her and the whole beef with Justin Baldoni. And Taylor Swift has also reportedly ended her friendship with Blake Lively forever. She wants nothing to do with her. Justin Baldoni also, he is allegedly shopping a tell-all book. And here's the wildest part. Blake Lively didn't get an NDA on the whole settlement thing with Justin Baldoni, meaning that he can legally spill everything whenever he feels like it. And even after she settled things with Justin Baldoni in court, she still went back to court and is demanding him to pay her. She wants payment for damages. So will Blake Lively ever be the same again after this? Well, she's lost a lot of fans, so I definitely don't think so.